Thank you so much, Nate. Of course, I know your time is very limited and valuable, and I greatly appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today.
My pleasure.
When you did join our team, I was so excited because for two reasons. I know what you bring to the table, but also because this was a unique role. So when NBC decided we are going to hire a director of weather operations, that was a unique concept. What do you bring to the company, to the station group as the director of weather operations?
They needed somebody with the meteorology background to come in and say, how can we use these tools in a way that makes sense to the science and that leverages the best that the science can bring us, but can also leverage that for the benefit of our viewers? And it really is both. So that's, I think, the role and the benefit that a role like this plays for a company of this size.
But you also bring a level of consistency across the station group, right? That would be harder to achieve, if not impossible, if it weren't for, that kind of centralized hub that you provide.
We started doing conference calls amongst our stations up in the Northeast, for example. So whenever there's a big winter storm that was going to come through,
Yeah.
we, once or twice a day, we get folks on the phone or on Teams now and do video chat. And we just go market by market. What are you thinking? What are the models telling you? And what's great about that is that not only do we get consistent snow maps, but also we get the benefit of all of this experience across the group. And all of a sudden, our forecasts not only are consistent, but they tend to be more accurate too. We get all that experience on one phone call.
And being able to collaborate with the folks at your sister stations gives you another way or means to have that consistency in your forecast. I've long been a believer that when it comes to forecasting, it's hard to imagine there being too many cooks in the kitchen, right? The more folks you can get in there, the better your forecast is going to be over the long term.
All of us forecasting are going to beat one of us forecasting. At the end of the day, the final product's going to be so much better than if I just did it all by myself.
What do you think are the best one or two things about being in this role? What have you enjoyed the most?
I love being the dumbest guy in the room. And I feel like every time I serious, and when I go to our stations, I'm working with the best of the best. These are network owned and operated stations, and these are the meteorologists that those stations have chosen because they're the best storytellers, they're the best graphic artists, they're the best meteorologists, and they're the best to serve their viewers in their markets.
Pivoting a little bit to the whole multi-platform digital aspect of this, but this ties into consistency as well. How does your role play into that? How do you ensure that the users are getting a consistent product no matter how they're accessing a forecast from a local NBC station or Telemundo station?
Really encouraging the vendors to give us tools, to develop tools that allow us to enter data in one place, and then it populates everywhere, whether it's on TV, these edited customized forecasts, or whether you see it on an app. And we've seen both the big weather vendors, WSI or IBM now, and Barron Weather, have developed tools to do that.
It's probably been really valuable to NBC to have one person that can be sort of your advocate on the technology and business side of things, being able to talk to vendors, speaking their language. I would think it's probably something that is going to, if anything, increase in value.
When we start talking about satellite, that's going to be another place where having meteorologists in the conversation, I think, is going to be helpful. Obviously, I think that when we think about preserving our satellite frequencies, preserving our radar frequencies, these are critically important for the way we do business. They're critically important, as numerous studies have shown, to making accurate forecasts. So it's not just saving lives, but it's saving money, it's saving time. And those are all really important things. And my goal is, when I'm asked to be a part of those conversations, to at least try to make that clear. We want to make sure they're doing it with the best possible information and the fullest understanding of the implications of what their decisions might be, so that at the end of the day, society benefits the greatest.